Hi. So as I'm listening to this YouTuber who I am not going to name, and I'm listening to him talk about feminists, feminism, the third wave feminism, and this Me Too that was going on before this hashtag, which I didn't comment on. I don't really comment on some of these social things, but if you've been following along, you probably already understand my sentiments about the third wave feminists. And I hate whenever there's somebody who kind of irritates me, but what they're saying is actually true. I'm sure I'm that way for some people too. But yeah. The funny thing is about the third wave feminists who want to complain, and like this person said, not throw out of the category the people who were raped or the child pedophiles and people that were in situations where they've been assaulted and so forth. Not talking about those situations, talking about the situations where you're just kind of interacting in society with the opposite gender, okay, and they maybe say something inappropriate and so forth. There's so many reasons why the third wave feminists are just cancers to society. And one of them is definitely the over dramatization of their reaction to when they just find certain behavior unappealing, is unappealing. And you've probably all seen the videos where I think it was Steven Crowder who did a catwalk, and this woman's walking down the street and the guys are whistling or whatever. Any feminist, these third wave feminists out here who want to say, they're so strong, they're better, they want to be treated equal. They don't. They want to be treated with special priority. It's not equal that they want to be treated, but they come off as being like these, we can do anything, we don't need men, and just man haters, And the funny thing is these are the same people who can't even look at someone if they're in that situation and someone does something inappropriate to say, fuck off. I mean, that's all you have to say. You don't have to bring in the whole congressional subcommittee to look at everything to determine that you've been wronged. If somebody says something inappropriate or that you don't like, especially if it's a sexual advance or whatever, you just look at them and say, fuck off. You could say more than that if you like, but basically it's just so ridiculous. These people are being assertive after the fact. They're being assertive when they can rally everyone around them and go and attack. What is that? That's when you lack the confidence or the self identity to know that you can defend yourself or that you're allowed to defend yourself at that time, and that's when these things have to be taken care of. Again, I'm not talking about people that are attacked and raped. I'm not talking about children who are victims of pedophiles, okay? I'm talking about you're a grown woman, there's a grown man, you're in a safe enough environment, and someone just says something. You can ignore them. I mean, if you choose to ignore them too. But if you really are that upset about it, then say something. If you want to be treated equal, then act equal. Oh, what? There's a difference between a man and a woman because men are physically stronger? Oh, then you can admit that now. You don't want to admit that when you want to join the fucking football team or something. No, you want to be treated equally then. It's just so, the third wave feminists are just so full of contradictions, I am not an apologist to asshole men, because God knows there are some of you out there, I think some of you that follow me, that are in that MGTOW, that men going their own way segment, that y'all are as fucked up as these, pink and blue hair feminists on the other side. And in some ways, maybe you would balance each other out. I don't know. I don't want to be a part of that mess. I can understand, though, that the simple premise of the MGTOWs. I can. And on the surface, it seems actually okay, you know, if it does. Unfortunately, it's infiltrated by a lot of really angry and I think violent men. And that's another reason that the third wave feminists like fuck everything up, because there actually are plenty of cases and plenty of situations where people are assaulted, are raped, are really brutalized. And whenever you throw your little non really relative situation next to those and want to compare yourself in that realm and say that you're part of that Me Too or whatever, it's absurd. You know, you do these people a disservice, and it's really a miscarriage of justice, because then everyone's looked at like it's all the same, and it's not all the same. You know, words and actions are different. That's another big clusterfuck that we have in today's society, where suddenly words are violent. You know, everything, the meaning of everything gets changed. Whenever the meaning of definitions gets changed and everything that you know to be true is now different or has a different level of seriousness, and there's no standard, there's going to be problems. People already misinterpret things, but at once upon a time, there was definitely a need to have a movement for feminism to kind of balance. It's not going to be equal, but to balance. But along the way, I mean, somewhere over the past, I don't know, I guess 30, maybe 40 years, it's gotten so screwed up. Look at the men. I mean, not all of them, but look at some of these men. They're like, they don't even know what to say. It pains me whenever someone will say something nice, you know, and they actually apologize before they say something nice. Like, well, I'm sorry, don't take this the wrong way, but I think you're pretty. And I especially since I write in haiku format, it makes it a little more difficult, but it's like, oh. And then you have other men who are just so uptight that no matter, I mean, I joke around all the time. Like, I'm always joking around. Usually, if there's half of everything I say is in some sort of, you know, lighthearted fashion, even though it's true too. But I've made comments, and some guys come out of left field and they just seriously like dig in and attack me because they're so defensive. You know, they're so defensive when there's really no need to be. But I guess that there is, because you have these third wave feminists out there who are basically telling them, because they looked at them, that they just raped them. It's insane. It's truly insane. And then you throw all that on top of all this unearthing of, oh gosh, it's 8. I'm just rambling, you know, because I'm procrastinating. I have work to do, whatever. You throw all that on top of all this unearthing of these sexual misconduct allegations that have come out against all these people. Handle it at the time, women. Handle it at the time, you know. And I guess that's all I can say. And men are subject to this too. I wonder how long it's going to take before we see men coming out and start talking about women who actually were the sexual aggressors. In some ways, I just see that as just sexual aggression. You know, and some people just do not know how to handle sexual aggression. Just like some people do not know how to handle confrontation. They take everything to like the 100th degree, you know, they take it to 1,000 because they just can't tell someone, yeah, I don't care, you know. It's funny, all this social media that we have all these ways to communicate with each other all the time, and it seems like the more ways that are developed for us humans to communicate with each other, the less efficient we get with actually communicating what we're thinking without it all being just so screwed up. You know, at some point it's going to reverse itself. Can I get through one video without making it political? Nope, I can't. Just like when Trump, you know, did the whole they let you grab them by the pussy. And that was just so taken and run with. Was it, you know, immature, crude, kind of like unprofessional? Yeah. Were they trying to be professional? These were a couple guys having like a fucking private conversation, you know? And that's exactly what it was. People are like, oh, you can judge somebody by the private conversations they have. That's true. You can. But in context to what they were saying, no, I am totally not offended by what President Trump said. I mean, because what he said was absolutely true. And my advice to anybody who's out there trying to sift through your dating pool, to maybe ask that question. Maybe there should just be a couple questions guys should ask women before they judge them. There's been plenty of times where I wish somebody would ask me something first before assuming that I'm a feminist, or that whatever they think my ideas are. Maybe one should be, I don't know, it's so difficult to talk about politics with people that you don't know. My heart goes out to you guys that are out there who are trying to just kind of like cohabitate with people. Then you kind of join these groups like the Men Going Their Own Way, which just, my interaction with people who profess to be in this group was just, it's like cancer. Kind of like I wouldn't be hanging out with anybody that wears a pink pussy hat either. So same thing, cancer. Okay, I think there was a point to when I started this blog, but I gotta go get some work done. And yeah, those are my thoughts about feminism. All right, have a great day. Bye.